Welcome to the Washdown, episode number 44. And today we will be talking with Joey Clevenger. Joey is a career firefighter, and he is also a video game streamer. So we're going to talk about that and some other things. So we'll leave a link in the description with his gaming handles, so you guys can stop by and check him out on Facebook Gaming. And yeah, without further ado, episode number 44 with Joey Clevenger. You never.
I just said it.
Yeah. Bet you wish you could take it back because it's so not true.
No, I stand by it.
Now, I'm going to get a call in about a year and a half. Hey, man.
You guys got any opening?
Yeah. Got a spot over there? I'll be like.
But I heard
Probably
you guys
not.
got rid of trades.
We did.
So it's not necessary. So if the spot's open, it's available to get bid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Based on seniority. And of course, depending on who the captain is, if you want to bid it or not, and the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean that your and I don't mean that in a bad way. So your crew, the crew that's there, plays a part in your decision, just because it's not about where you work; it's about who you work with.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's kind of talking to a buddy of mine that has slowly figured that out, as far as, because he's moved over to you guys, and he's figured out that you spend a good majority of your life with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's not whether the station or the crew is a good fit for you. It's, you got to make sure that they accept you first before you just say, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you've already got tension building, and then this guy comes in and makes it worse, that's going to be difficult, of course. But there is a good opportunity where people can come in and kind of like ease it a little bit. But
It just helps, and it can be done. It's just, for me, it's always been who am I working with.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to work with anybody for 24 hours, but do I want to do that every third day?
Yeah, I mean, with us, it's not even, we don't have spots that open up nearly as much as you guys. Well, granted, we don't have a lot of stations. We have 3 stations, and we do the whole bid at the end of the season, or at the end of the year, December.
You guys do a yearly bid?
Yearly bid based on seniority, and then January, like the first couple weeks of January, depending on where the pay period's at. I mean, which it shouldn't matter, because no one really bids different shifts unless someone leaves. But yeah, then it's just.
So do you guys kind of stay together as crews, or?
Pretty much, yeah. It's always based on that high seniority guy. Like, there's always that one guy that like no one really can't stand to work with, and
I can't wait till they all see this.
that's
What are you talking about, Joey?
That's fine. That's fine. And it's one of those things that's like, and not working with. Of course, there's a lot of captains that I haven't worked with, and I haven't really got to know on like an everyday kind of situation.
You see them in passing.
Yeah, you
like
work
that.
with them on overtime. You work with them on trades. Maybe you see them more on weekends, and they're completely different on weekends than they are on weekdays, kind of situation. Mm-hmm. Because with us, we do a lot of busy work during the week. Truck checks every day. Different. For us, we have a lot of like at our headquarters station, we've got a lot of apparatus. So there's a truck check every single day: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's a different truck to check. And that's the thing. So everyone. There's some guys, there's every station also has an advantage. If you want to work with, if you want to be busy, for us, our truck is busy. Our 2 pumpers are not. Up at headquarters, you have the advantage of, with all the empty space in the bay, you pull your truck in on the weekend, detail your truck, pretty nice, laid back. And then, our downtown station is you kind of left alone. Nobody comes down. So that's where I'm at. So I enjoy that. But, and that's the thing. So when it comes to bids, it's just a perfect. It was pretty funny. You know, there's 2 firefighters that have been working with this captain for years on our truck for years. They talk about, hey, we're going to go up to headquarters. We're going to work there because, you know, there's a lot of free, like a lot of laid back time that we can kind of get stuff done because, you know, on a fireman's salary, we can't just be firemen. You know, we do something on our off days, and they've got businesses of their own. So they're like, hey, we got a lot of time that we can just kind of plan. There's a lot of space up there. If we need to work on something on a trailer or whatever, we got the space. So that captain was like, hey, then I'll just bid up the headquarters. Let's do that. He bids up there. Those 2 went down to downtown station because he was the first to bid. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna be with these guys. They're talking about going up to headquarters, so I'll go up to headquarters. And then when I got to those 2 guys, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go this way. So gave him the old razzle dazzle. So
That's kind of a kick in the dick.
yeah. And I was just like, oof, like, how do you take that? I mean, you literally work with the guy for years, like over 5 years, 7 years. You know, you've worked with the guy, and you're like,
It's time for a change, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're talking about, hey, let's all go there together.
yes.
Then-
Now, you know, and that's I think that's for him. He thought it was just implied. He thought he was in that conversation because
Yeah.
he's not a bad guy. I've worked with him plenty of times, and it's, you know, he likes to stay busy, so that's good. You know, but some of the things is he's really not even there. He's got enough vacation PTO, and he teaches on his days off and stuff like that. So it's just like he's you know, uses his time wisely.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, so sometimes you'll get people like, for example, we had a guy that just left, and a guy from B shift came over to my shift. I'm on C shift, and he's you know, and honestly, you know, after working with him, because, you know, I left, worked for my department for 2.5 years, left to go to another department, and then came back. And when I got hired back on, I was working with this individual right off the bat until they moved me over to a different shift. And he's got his quirks, but who doesn't? You know, everyone's got something, and unfortunately he's had a bad rep with the department. So like, of course, when you mention his name, they're like, oh, like rolling their eyes, like,
Yeah.
give him a shot. You know,
Yeah.
like I get it. Like, just let them be. Everyone's got their thing. Like, you know, you find that quirk that kind of that can just make the day better. You know, so we had so after I got hired on, I'm working with this gentleman, and you know, of course, he's got that rep, and you're trying to stay away from that like drama situation. We're trying to feed into that.
Yeah.
And so I have no problem working this guy. Good guy. He does stuff. He does a lot of stuff to keep himself busy, and he also does a lot of stuff that nobody really wants to do. Like, good example. Each truck, each apparatus has a color combination for our tools. So my truck is, they make fun of ours because it's blue and red. And so
original.
yeah. So we're blue and red, and
I like it.
And so like all of our axes, every tool is painted. I was like, dude, I don't want to. Once a year we go through and make sure they're all repainted. I'll be honest, I don't like painting them. He does. Give him that task. There you go. You just took up a week of time, depending on how focused he is on stuff. And that's the thing. It's just like, you got to find those things that, like, if they're detail oriented or whatever, you know. So again, going back to, I got rehired on. I was on B shift. They moved me to C shift to be a driver. Fast forwarding to now, my senior guy just left. Another senior guy took his spot from B shift, came over to C shift. This is that guy he's got some quirks, but that's the thing. So going in with this attitude, you know, my BC is just worried, like, we're getting so-and-so, but like, you're also just like, don't feed into that negativity from other people. we got to start. He's coming over here for a clean slate.
Yeah, well, there are two sides to every story.
Exactly. Maybe what he did irritated so and so, and it's kind of worked its way through the department. Like everyone has that, but don't let it damper the situation. If he's leaving one shift to come to another shift, it's he either likes a lot of guys on that shift, or he likes a certain captain. I know him and my captain have a good relationship, and so that's really the main reason why he came over. And so when he came over, I just don't even. We're cool. It's one of those things that I'm trying not to feed into the negativity that that he's kind of brought. Not he hasn't brought it, but it's just that circles around him basically. Yeah. And it's it stinks for that guy, because he's just trying to find that one area, that shift, or that crew that's just gonna just let him be and let him do his time. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just how things go, I guess.
Well, Joey, thanks for stopping by and being on the show.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I don't know where we went there, but
I know.
And you thought I was long-winded.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, dude. So we shot an episode earlier today, and he started talking about something, and it was over here. And he wrapped it all the way back around. It took him about 5 minutes to get there, but the guest is just looking at him going, okay, I know he's going to get to a point eventually. And he did. He brought it back, but it's the long way.
Sometimes you got to use filler.
Hey,
all right?
Why use
you got to
one
build
word?
you got to get a backstory to the whole thing.
Yeah. Why use one word when you can use 150?
Oregon trailed that one.
Yeah,
That's right. There's no straight path here. We got about an hour to fill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
5 minutes of conversation, make it last an hour.
there you go.
yeah.
Just like every training that I've ever been into, 10 minutes of information squeezed into 6 hours.
I'm waiting for the one time when I'm like this.
Yeah, it would really stick. Yeah, if you've got somebody that's like just a medical professional, and they're just like 5 minutes, they're just watching you sleep.
Oh, yeah. I don't even think I'd tell him. I think we would just all get up and leave the room. We'd stop the recording. Or actually, I'd probably leave the recording
on. Just let it go. Just,
turn the headphones off.
Blooper. No, dude. Blooper reel, man. Just let that go. B-roll it.
What had happened on the Washdown?
Sometimes you're just tired.
Hey, man, I get it.
So do you do that with your streaming, or do you do that live? So let's give everybody a little backstory. Let's get into this. So you've been a fireman for
8 years.
8 years.
Yep.
When did you get into streaming?
About 2 years ago. I've been on and off. I have had started streaming about 2 years ago. Started playing Fortnite. And it was one
Remember
of
that
those
conversation?
Yeah, right. Remember that example that we had?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started streaming Fortnite because for me, I've always played games. My first system was Nintendo NES. My mom's freaking Duck Hunt. I still have the original Zapper gun and everything. So I've been a gamer.
There's one sitting right back there,
dude. So I've always been a gamer, and I enjoy playing games. And a lot of people make fun of me. Like my wife makes fun of me. But like as far as because that's just something that just takes me away from a lot of stuff. Like, in high school, I wrestled, and to drop weight, of course, you're not going to eat. You're going to practice. You're going to drink your water. You'll snack a little bit, but like to make weight, you just can't eat. So for me, coming home from practice, staying hydrated and playing Halo 2 was my thing, because the more games I played, the less I focused on food. I mean, I'd be gaming for probably 5 hours and went right past dinner and went to bed. It's one of those things that just kind of just took me out of a lot of situation. with that, because not that I was cutting a lot of weight, but it's just I like to eat. I enjoy my food. So for me, that
maybe you should have wrestled a weight class up.
Well, that was the thing. We were in high school, we were a powerhouse. It was, if you think you can make it to that weight and it's like got nobody there, that's the weight you need to go through. Because from basically my 7th grade year to my senior year, my high school won state. We were six times in a row, I think. So, from my 8th grade year to my junior year, we were ranked. We were the highest ranked public school in the nation. We were the top 5 in the nation. So, yeah, it was one of those situations that you pick. You got to find a spot because you have a really good person. I've just in my class alone, I think I had two or three. I had 1 4-time state champion, and then I think 7 state champions that year, my senior year. I didn't make it to state. I broke my collarbone. So,
faking an injury. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Excuses, Joey.
I got the scar to prove it, but and it was funny because
there was a butter knife at the home. Dude,
I got to make a story somehow. Yeah, no,
How many door frames did it take you to run into for that to happen?
Right. No, and so that was the thing is I played video games to get me away from thinking about eating, because especially holidays, Thanksgiving during wrestling season, your family's there. I'm upstairs playing anything at that point because freaking turkey smells good. Anything, just.
Dude, I had a fight one time whenever I was doing MMA, December 5th. This has got to be the absolute worst.
That is terrible.
It's like, who scheduled this?
Is that when you look like the AIDS cancer patient?
Probably, yeah.
That's usually how it happens.
I think that was. It
You
might
look
have been
so
my
dude.
first. It might have been my first fight at 155, and I cut too much. I think I weighed in at like 148.
Oof.
Yeah, so I was way under.
And they only give you 24 hours basically between your weigh-in and your fight.
Yeah.
So that's how some tournaments were for me too. Yeah. And some tournaments were even 2 or 3 days long, and you had to make weight every single day.
Ooh.
So if I wrestled 145, I had to weigh 145 on Friday, start my tournament, and then make sure that after I was done on Friday, I would go weigh. If I'm 2 pounds over, I gotta make weight. Now, granted, if you have a 2-day tournament, your first day you have to make your weight 145. The second day they usually give you a grace period of 1 pound, so that they kind of give you a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. 1 pound.
I know, man, but and that's the thing. So for me, that's kind of that. As far as getting down to weight, it was kind of a struggle, and because I didn't have a lot to lose. My senior year, I graduated 6'1", 140 pounds, and I was a beanpole. So and it was just one of those things. And that was the year I think I cut down to 130.
Ooh.
And so it was, it sucked.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's not healthy for you either.
No, and that's the thing. And they've actually made it a lot better now, because they do hydration tests and everything like that. So like my senior year, they started the hydration tests where you got to weigh in, and say for example, I'm shooting for 130, and I try and get as low as possible, as low as I can, and I say I don't have to make weight, but say if I'm at 135, then they'll check my hydration. So pee in a cup, check my hydration, make sure I'm well hydrated, and then they'll do a fat test. So and then if they'll go off my body fat percentage, if I don't have enough body fat percentage to go down anymore because they have that certain level, then they're like, you can't make 130. Or if you can, they say, this is the time that you are eligible to make 130. So you can't wrestle 130 until you hit this date, because that's when they know it's a healthy time to lose that weight. Not like, hey, you got 15 pounds, it's Wednesday, Friday, I need 15 pounds off you. So that, that's because that's how it was, going into high school, that's how it was.
Oh, yeah.
I know some guys that were wrestling, they weighed 160 on a normal day or off season, but they wrestled 112. That was way before they started doing those hydration tests. And honestly, I feel like it's really messed up people's bodies.
It totally does. Totally does. And bodybuilding's the same way, where they, you have to dehydrate to a certain level to make the muscle fibers stand out and all of this. And then, with mixed martial arts, it's just a continuation of the whole wrestling weight cut thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And so, yeah, that was my main focus when I started playing games, was to get away from eating. But then it's just always something that just grabbed my interest, whether it was competitively, playing online multiplayer, like team deathmatch stuff with Call of Duty or Halo. That was my go-to, was Halo. And then, of course, you go into story modes. And then, of course, every console had their own exclusives. Now, I grew up having both PlayStation. There's always the PlayStation, the Xbox guys.
Rich kid.
I bought my own PlayStation. My dad bought the Xbox. So I was just able to get into playing some Halo on his Xbox. So
He's out there mowing yards, his own yard.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
man,
his dad bought both.
No, how did I? I can't even remember how I paid for it. Yeah, I think I saved up birthday money, honestly, birthday and Christmas money. Oh, I'm sorry, man. What do you want me to say?
Dad paid for it.
That's true. Okay, well, you really look at it that way, but you know what? The discipline of not spending your money when you first get it, because every kid is like, the second you get like $5, you're like, hey, let's go to Toys R Us. Or, granted, Toys R Us is expensive, so they're like, hey, let's go to Walmart and whatever. So to be able to save up some money and then buy my PlayStation. But anyways, so that was Halo was a huge thing for me going in. And as I've gotten older, you see all these big names, like you got Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, all these huge names, and you see their income, and you're like, holy shit, you can really make a ton of money just playing video games. And not that that's my goal, but for me, as I've gotten older and I've got a career, so I don't plan on leaving my career for this, because this can go. Being a streamer can be, it's a fad in a way. Because you can be popular 1 minute and then like next year it's just not even fun to watch games, So that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I've got a career. I love playing games, and on my off days, why not just record or go live on Facebook and play games,
So what would you say your percentage of recording and going live are?
So basically, I go live more than I record. Usually what I do is I record clips. So I have it set up on my PC where if I do like a cool play, or like a no scope or whatever, like something that's pretty cool to highlight, I hit a certain, like my F10 does a recording of, like, it goes back like 2 minutes, so it catches that recording, and then I can put a montage together. But I just do more live stuff. I want to get more storage in my PC so that I can record my games along with going live. But it's just one of those things that, if you buy an SSD, it gets a little pricey. So because I have a 1 terabyte SSD where all my games go, and I have like 100 gigs left. So
holy cow.
Yeah. So
hey man, you gotta spend money to make money.
That's very true. That is very true. But yeah, it's been fun. I will say it is kind of mentally tolling on you, because as far as like, it's something that you enjoy to do. I enjoy playing games because, like I told you, I like the competition or I like the story. But say that you're consistently like, they say the biggest thing about being a streamer is your consistency. Mm-hmm. So for me, I made it like a job on my days off. If I was off, so I did like 8 to noon would be like, I would do a morning stream, 8 to noon. Grab lunch because they said, no one wants to watch you eat. Yeah. So if you're playing games and eating, it just doesn't. So I made it very professional. Mm-hmm. And then after lunch, I'd go to like 1 to 5. So I mean, I had an 8-hour day and trying to keep that consistency. And I did it for months and months and months. And looking up in the corner and you see one live viewer, like for months, you're like, where's this going?
Yeah.
And shoot. And some of the time that one viewer's my wife. Like
she's texting you, making fun of you.
No,
and
she's
stop playing video games.
And she's been super supportive. So there's been a lot of times that like she'll come in and before I set up my gaming area now, she would come in and take a picture and post it on my Instagram and post it on Twitter and like, hey, we're live, we're playing this game, blah 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 blah, and then she would actually go and she would watch the stream. And at the time, like when I started playing, or when I really started hitting streaming hard was when Apex first came out, Apex Legends, and so I started playing that, and I was relatively good at the game. I mean, I won. There was I've got a lot of wins on it, and so she would watch, and I would get a win, and she would like go back and clip, like do like a 60-second clip of like the last kill or whatever, the last fight, and then post it on Twitter, be like, hey, we're live, we just won, we just got this many wins. So she'd been really, really supportive on this whole adventure, and as much as the kind of person I am, I don't like to like slowly get into it. I'm cannonballing in there. So unfortunately, financially, you look at all this stuff, it's expensive. You buy the podcast stuff, it's expensive. Mm-hmm. So buying a PC that's strong enough to do that can support me going live and playing at the same time, it's pricey. All the different software that you're running. And then at the time I was playing, on my PlayStation. So I had to buy like an external, a capture card that goes to the PC and then through the PC, all that stuff.
Yeah, we're running the same gear here.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. So, financially tolling, depending on how you want to go about it, of course, for me, I want to try and make my stuff look as professional as possible. And I could be a lot more humble on that portion where I could just say, hey, here's my setup. I've got like a $20 microphone and just a webcam and stuff like that. But for me, I'm just a fan of quality. Mm-hmm. And so that's why it really kind of hit us financially on getting it all set up. So I could not thank my wife enough for letting me do this, and how I was explaining it was, listen, if I'm just going to play games, why not just record, or like, why not go live while playing games? The biggest hurdle again is just getting over the audience.
Yeah.
I've met some, well, I say I've met, but like, people have jumped into my chat and they're like, hey, where are you from? You talk to them and you have good conversations with people. You meet some people. For me, I would wear jerseys on, Fridays, because it's football season.
Yeah.
And so there's, I had a guy come into my I'm playing Apex, and he's like, hey, are you from there? I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, so so-and-so. I was like, well, I don't know him personally, but yeah, he's on our team. He's like, dude, I went to high school with him. I was like, no way. No way. He's like, dude, yeah. He's like, I was a senior, he was a sophomore, and our coach just brought him up to varsity his sophomore year, and we won state. I'm like, makes sense. you know? So it's just, you get to see some cool people. And then of course you've got those people that really want to see smaller streamers keep going, keep that momentum going. Because again, to be streaming for months, at this time I had been streaming for about 6 months. I've got like 454 followers, had a good momentum going into it. Like the first 2 weeks I had over 150 followers. So I'm like, yeah, we can just keep this going. You know, we can get to a certain point, and because how Facebook does their thing is, you know, you just stream, you have certain requirements to hit their level up program. And their level up program is, once you get into it, that's when you can start getting stars. Well, for Facebook, 1 star is 1 penny. So, and that's where you can get into the financial side of it. And so, you know, you got to hit 100, you have to get 100 followers. You got to be streaming, you got to have your page for so long. You got to be streaming this many hours in a 2-week span. You got to do this multiple days in a row. So they keep these requirements so you can stay in the program, make money. They just want your commitment, basically. And so, you know, 6 months, I mean, shoot, the first month I was already a level up. I was like, yeah, let's do this, you know. I'd get 150 stars here, 150 stars there, 50 stars, you know, and everything's appreciated. Again, I'm not streaming to get rich. It's something I enjoy to do. And if I can make a little bit of money doing it, why not? You know, I mean,
Yeah, might as well.
yeah,
It's the American way.
Well, and honestly, it's just like, you know, some of like the conversations that we have, being like a fly on the wall to listen to like the absurd conversations that we have, it's hilarious to people. You know, some of the conversations I have with some of my friends, or I play a lot with my brother, you know, of course, me and my brother, we fucking bicker back and forth. So,
What?
and that's just how, you know, and so that's kind of what I looked at, is like, there could be something there. If you don't enjoy the gameplay, at least enjoy the conversations that's going on.
Yeah.
Like, or chime in and talk about, oh yeah, that happened to me too. You know, it's just, and that's, you know,
I'm
getting
trying to
it.
get comfortable over here.
You better have loosened that up before you adjusted it.
That fell down on its own.
No, it didn't.
Go back and watch.
Sorry, Joey. I apologize. This is an ongoing issue with him of breaking equipment.
You're fine.
But no, fired. I want that severance package.
Yeah. Well, that brings up a good point, because that's kind of how I've been thinking about it. Because I've seen, like, I don't follow game streamers or whatever, but I've seen clips on YouTube or whatever, and it seems like some of the guys they're not really that great at whatever video game they're playing. They're just entertaining.
And that's honestly, there's 2 types of streamers. You've got guys that are insanely good at a game, and that's all they play, is they'll put thousands of hours. And I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating at all. These people have literally shown how many hours they've played this game, and they're over thousands of hours. Like, you know, right now, Call of Duty Warzone is a huge one. Mm-hmm. So you got people that have played thousands of hours in this game, and me, I enjoy watching those individuals, because for me, it's a game that I enjoy playing, and it's a game I like to get better at. So that's why I watch those people. Like, hey, how am I going to get better? And then you have other people, and like Stone Mountain 64. He's good at games, but it's more of his personality. The guy is probably the most humble. He's competitive. I'm kind of like a mean competitive. Like, I can throw a fit, honestly. You know, you guys know. You guys played softball with me, so come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like to lose, but that's something that, you know, you kind of get into. If you're going to stream, you got to put the show face on, you know? Mm-hmm. Do I like to lose? Hell no, I don't like to lose. But it happens. And I've got to be able to accept that. But watching Stone Mountain, who's pretty decent at the game, doesn't play at a high level of other players, but he's humble. He's his personality is just, it's hilarious. So I mean, he's just got a great personality, and that's where it comes into the divide of the two streamers. You got high level, and then you've got people that have good personalities. That's basically it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, kind of going in, and you always have to be positive, because like I told you, going 6 months hard, and I have like one or two people watching me at one time, it does suck. But like, you know, as much as you want to go in to someone else's stream and just troll them, you know, just bash them, why? You know, I've had multiple, and that's what sucks. That's also, you get a lot of that. I've had a lot of people. I've got 450 followers, and I've had to probably ban 50 of them because they just come in and just talk shit. Like, listen, if you don't enjoy it, there's other people to watch. That's it. It's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's Twitch. There's so many streaming services out there to play games on. Why come in here to this one stream and wreck this dude's day?
Well, because that's what they're after. That's the thing with social media, any type of social media really, is people feel like there's no consequences. They can go in and say stuff that they would not say to your face.
Oh, I know.
Over the internet, because there's that anonymity there. And yeah,
those keyboard warriors.
Uh-huh.
And that's it, you know, and that's what's frustrating.
Punch in the face from 1,000 miles away.
Yeah, right. Oh, and that's the thing. It's just like, if I'm doing the hard work to try and just stay relevant and try and stay positive, because, you know, my whole thing is I don't have a huge community, but I would rather have quality over quantity any day of the week. You know, when I was streaming consistently, yes, I would have one to maybe, I think I peaked at one time at like 40 people watching me. And I think that someone ended their stream and shared all their followers to me. And I ended up getting a lot of follows out of that, and very appreciative. And I've met some people in there that have come into my chat, and then they're regulars. You know, they come in like, hey, how you doing? You know, what's going on today? Like, you know, what do you got planned? And dude, you just have a conversation. You really, you know, that's the thing. That's the community that I want to keep, is people, you know, you get invested in their lives as much as they're invested in yours. Now, I'm the one that's broadcasting it. I'm the one that's sharing my life to everyone. But I feel like for somebody to just be like, hey, how are you know, me, I'm focusing on this, and I'm focusing on the people that are in my chat. But for me to just be like, hey, you know, like I have a follower that's from Australia, and during the time that I was streaming, that they had those 1,000,000 acres on fire. They had a big wildfire, and he's like, hey, you know, you probably won't be seeing me for a little bit. We've got to evacuate, blah 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 blah. I was like, dude, hey, I hope you're all right. Hope your family's good. You know, stay safe. I'll see you here soon. And, you know, a couple weeks go by, I hadn't seen him on, and, you know, and I messaged him. You know, I went through my Facebook, the gaming page, and I messaged him. I'm like, hey, how's everything going? Are you okay? You know, you get invested in these people's lives that are taking the time out of their day to watch you play a video game. So for me, I feel like it's my responsibility to also reciprocate, to be like, hey, how are you guys doing? Is everything all right? I ended up hearing from him. He's good. Everything. It didn't even reach his house. It was like, it ended up getting 20 miles away. But you know, of course, that was evacuation status for them.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it didn't get to their neighborhood, and everything was good. And so that's the thing. That's another thing that's great about streaming. So, but yeah, it is emotionally and probably mentally tolling, because you want to do well. You especially when you start out strong, like, hey, you know, first month I'm almost got 200 followers. You're like, I can just keep this going, and we can get to 1,000 pretty easy. No, it's not that easy. You always got to try and shake stuff up. You always got to change stuff up, whether it's the production, whether, you know, let's update cameras, mics, all that stuff. You got to make sure that your quality's there, and that's why I kind of dove in pretty hard, because I didn't want to be that person that's like, oh, hey, we're just doing the bare minimum to try and get some money. I'm trying to give everyone that experience. Right. So that's,
well, you want to be professional. And we did the same thing with the podcast. I mean, we got the best equipment that we could get, that we could afford at the time, and we upgraded later once we got the new studio, went out and got new mic stands, a new table. We still run in the same camera, but there's nothing wrong with that camera. It's got
if it works. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But but it's one of those things that you want to upgrade later on for your viewers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, I would like to run a 3-camera or 4-camera system so that everybody's got their own individual camera, but then whenever you start doing that, you're worried about, okay, well, now editing. So now I have to go in and splice those 4 different feeds together, and and that's the learning curve that it comes down to with a lot of this, because even though I record some of my stuff, like I told you, I have it set up where if I have a cool clip of a multi-kill or whatever, and I have that small little 2-minute clip, putting it together is it's like shit. Like I told you, like for me, I downloaded the free version of DaVinci Resolve, and I've watched 2 hours of video, but I just got to the first step of dragging your little 2-minute click here, and then you're like, what do I do next? Like, so it's just like that's it's just there's a lot of work on the outs, like on the back end,
back on the back end, and it's a lot.
Even with the bare minimum of actual editing that I have to do for a normal episode, where I don't have to go in and cut anything out or something like that. It takes, putting it together and getting it ready to convert takes me right about 10 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. And then converting it, however long we're talking, that's how long it takes to convert it. So an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. So that's 2 hours that the computer's just running and doing its thing. And then you have to upload it. Well, I upload to 2 different sites. And one site, Anchor distributes it out to like 6 or 7 other places. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to do that part, but I still have to upload it to both, still have to do the same descriptions and all of this stuff, and going through all the things with YouTube. I mean, you're looking at another 2 hours.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. That's, now that, my daughter is old enough to go to daycare, and she's got to be full time. So Monday through Friday, on my days off, and if it's not mowing season for me, that's what I'm going to try and focus on. I'm going to try and get back into streaming a lot more, try and be more consistent. Yeah. Because it's one of those things that, I enjoy doing it. But it's just stuff like that, setting up, trying to learn the new equipment, learn the new software, try and get that better stuff. For me, I've got a webcam, and it sucks because every single time I start my OBS, I have to go into my camera details
and turn it back on.
Well, it turns on, but I have to go into its actual settings of the camera, because it does the whole, like, if I wave, like, you see just a blur of my hand. And that's because it's trying to. So in my stream with my new gaming setup, it's in a dark room, so it's trying to pick up, but it's also not good in dark light,
low light. Yeah.
So I have to go in and change that every single time I turn that camera on. Every single time that camera turns on. So, like, if I actually just get a camera that is made for, say, podcast or even vlogging, then that will be better. There's one I'm looking at that I'm looking to buy, but unfortunately, it's just, again, it comes into that cost. It's just, to get that kind of quality, you gotta put the money
for it.
Yeah, and that's it. You're looking at, for me, this camera is like $750, but I got a 5-month-old now, so.
That's a lot of formula.
Yeah, exactly.
Diapers.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. That's why my dedication to the streaming hasn't been as much lately, is because I'm trying to make sure that she's got everything that she needs.
You need to start you a Patreon account, man.
I know, right?
That's what I hear from everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, like because I watch a lot of videos of off-roading stuff on YouTube, and there's one dude, Ozark Overland Adventures. And he's always pushing his Patreon. But, I mean,
Well,
if people want to pay for him to go make videos, I say go for
well,
it.
and that's the thing, it's just one of those things is like how far in do I want to get? Because yeah, I watch a lot of like smaller streamers as well because I try and pick up different things from other people. I've got my core 5, I would like to say, that I love to watch, and then you try and pick some stuff up from them, and then like from what they've got going on. Then you go and check the lower end people, and you're like, you try and make sure like, oh, hey, I'm going to try and make sure I don't do that because, I go in and everyone's like, once they hit the level up program, they're like, they've got like their big, like you've got this much of a screen, and then they take up every bit of it. So literally you have like this much gameplay to watch. So that's one thing I try and, so that's another thing that I do. I try and watch these smaller streamers and like, man, you've got so-and-so, like you've got over here on your right-hand side, it's like, hey, here's our top star senders, and they've got it so big that you can't see anything. So if you're playing a competitive battle royale, you can't even see like what the guy's shooting at. Like you can't, because there's some guys that like, there's some people that are watching like, oh, hey, watch your right.
Yeah.
And granted, there's a delay, so you don't see it right away. But that, the fact that they're trying to help you. But if you have a whole list of 10 names on the right-hand side that are saying, hey, here's our donations here, your webcam's over here on this side. I mean, there's social media's all on the top. It's like you literally just gave your viewers like a quarter of the screen to look at. Other than that, you got nothing. So, and that's how that's what I do is I try and watch the big names, learn from them, see what they've got going on with theirs, try and adapt mine to that. So it's, and I'm sure you're the same way watching different podcasts. You want to try and pick up on whether it's scenery or if it's just, what kind of quality of mics or,
absolutely.
Just,
Production value, how they do their podcasts. I mean, yeah, I definitely went deep down the freaking YouTube video podcast rabbit hole whenever I thought about doing this.
It's how big of a commitment do you want to do?
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, so that's basically why I started streaming, was just to, I play games anyways. Why not try and make a little bit of money doing it? So
yeah,
but yeah, I'm trying. I've just got into. I set up my YouTube, so I'm going to try and do a little streaming on both Facebook and YouTube. Kind of staying away from Twitch because I just don't support their morals on some things. So
yeah, I'm not super familiar with. I just know they've been in the headlines for like banning people a lot.
Yeah, I mean they ban people, but they ban people for like, one, they'll ban people for stupid reasons, or they won't ban people for long enough.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was, I think it was a couple of years ago, dude got irritated with his pregnant girlfriend, got up from his gaming area, punched her in the face, and then went and sat back down, and they banned him for 2 weeks, and he's right back.
Yeah,
and
no, that's not okay.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, what the? How can anyone be okay with that?
That's you're done.
Yeah,
yeah.
They kick people out. They kick people out of the NFL for that.
Yeah, zero.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, zero tolerance. There should be a zero tolerance, and that's the thing. Like, you give this guy, just because this dude's got hundreds of thousands of followers and he's got a ton of revenue coming in, because so
I'm sure they get a percentage of that.
Exactly. So basically, the different levels and every service, I don't know YouTube's very much because I'm just dabbling into that. So as far as the live gaming situation, I know that with bigger names coming to it now, they're really going to step up their game because, they got Dr. Disrespect now. They got Dr. Lupo. They've got Tim the Tatman. They've got all these big names that left Twitch to go to YouTube. So I know they're working on something to really get it going. But as far as like Facebook, you got your level up program, and then as you get so many, then they give you standards after you get level up to get to partnership. When you get to partnership, that's when people can pay $5 a month to be a supporter for you. Now, every content creator has a certain thing for their supporters. Some people have merchandise that, hey, if you're a supporter, you get 30% off of all my store, if you're a big enough name. Or you get, they've got sponsorships, like whether it's G Fuel, whether it's certain coffee companies and all that you get discounts. So it's almost worth it to follow a certain name, because you do get perks out of it. But then how Facebook has it is they've actually just extended this contract. Is if you're a content creator and you are a partner, that $5 that you get, so say that you give me $5 a month to be a supporter, I see all $5 of that goes to me. So that's Facebook just basically makes money off of the transaction of just re-upping it. Basically the tax of it just goes to them. But so for Twitch, it's still $5, but Twitch gets half and you get half. So that's why a lot of people have either left to go to YouTube, because their discoverability is a lot more, because everyone's on YouTube. It's YouTube University, man.
Yeah.
So it's just whether it's what area of YouTube do you want to go to, and that's the thing. So once you get to partner, so that's why for me it's either Facebook or YouTube or both, because there's services out there where you can stream. My one stream my primary could be Facebook, but it also trickles into, it'll do Twitch and it'll do YouTube all at the same time. So the only thing I can see to benefit to being on Twitch is that everyone that has an Amazon Prime, I know a lot of people that have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime membership. So if I get to a status of people can pay me $5 a month, your Twitch Prime membership, you can just re-up that every month, and that helps me get an extra $2.50 every month. So that, they can accumulate pretty fast. So I would say that's probably the only benefit to being on Twitch, because going back to like the mental side and the emotional side of it is going back to the keyboard warriors, on Twitch, you make some whatever handle that you're going to be using. On Facebook, it's your actual profile. So, if you want to go through the work to make a trolling account, then by all means go for it.
They absolutely do.
And they do. Oh yeah,
you can see when they're doing it, and you're just like, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, and that's it. And that's the thing. So, but that's another thing that why I like Facebook over Twitch is because, anyone can just make an account and make a different name, and you don't know who it is. But on Facebook, I could literally click on that person's profile and just report that person, But so not that, or for me, ban them. So because you got those people that just are either jealous or just that kind of person that just goes in and just the toxicity is just ridiculous on social media in general.
Yeah, it
doesn't even matter. I'm on certain groups for my truck, or I'm on certain groups for my smoker, like getting recipes and stuff.
And I need to join those.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm on the truck ones. I got some motorcycle ones.
Well, and that's the thing.
There's
so
gun ones that I'm on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So there's always those toxic people, no matter what kind of community it is. If it's gaming or anything like that, it's just it sucks because for the truck one, everyone like for our truck, since we have the same truck.
Mine looks better. It's a better color.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. So
somebody's advertising they're a fireman a little too hard.
So
just like that color.
Hey, I don't blame you, because honestly, my last 3 vehicles are that exact same color, and then just my Cajun red just kind of like just grabbed my attention.
It looks more purple to me.
Ah, shut up! No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I would say maroon more than
I would say maroon. I would burgundy.
Burgundy.
Yeah, run burgundies. No.
He's more Maroon 5 guy anyway.
But no. So like a good example is like those that Pulsar LTs. If you haven't seen them, Plug them in under your hood. Super easy to set up. You can it bypasses a lot of stuff. You can also turn off your automatic on-off without having to press the button. You can just completely disable it without having to press it every single time. Because for me...
Are you talking about the auto start?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So for me, my routine to get in my truck, start it, that's the first thing I press. That right there is the auto start kind of BS.
Oh, see, I never mess with it. I'm just like, I don't care.
Well, it's just for me. It's just because I'm always kind of creeping anyways at stoplights or stop signs kind of situation. So when it shuts down and then turns back on, you're just shut. I'm like, gosh dang it, So,
yeah,
but,
I mean, if I get stuck in traffic or something, like on the highway, I'll turn it off then.
Yeah,
because it gets annoying.
So going back to that, someone posted, "Hey, has anyone seen on these Pulsar LTs? How do you like them?" First comment on that was, "Oh my God, we've seen this 1,000 times." Well, dude, this guy's it clearly says under his name, new member. Cut him some slack. Like, why do we have to be assholes?
So a lot of those things. It's like I've seen that in the motorcycle ones too. I've seen them on the truck ones, the motorcycle ones. People ask the same question over and over. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But it says in the rules, like when you join the closed group, that you will search for your answer before you post it. And guys get irritated. It's like, dude, who cares? What I don't like is when it starts getting political. I don't get on the truck page to read about politics.
No.
I got to read about the truck. If somebody's having an issue, I want to know, is that an issue I might have? And if so, how do I fix it? Is it something I can do on my own?
You mean, how do you pay somebody to fix it?
Depends on what the issue is.
But exactly. Or
not everyone can have a Jeep that can be taken apart with, a screwdriver. We have manned vehicles.
Okay. All right. Bring your manned vehicles on the next off-roading trip.
Why would I do that?
Well, because it's a trail boss. It's supposed to be an off-road vehicle.
I'm not going in the woods. Why would I do that?
Pavement princess, mall crawler. Both of you guys, mall crawlers.
Hey man, I've got some scratches on mine.
Next time he calls you because he bought something at some store or he needs to haul something, give him one of these.
We've already spent this time. We spent a couple hours at Menards because I need your truck and trailer, man.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
and driving to pick up a kitchen table. That was super awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just right over here.
4 hours later.
Not.
We got to stop and get gas.
Yeah. And BFE.
Dude, and I still feel bad about that because I was led to believe that it was a lot closer than it was.
Oh, dude. And
she did the same thing to me the other day.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah.
Jeremy's getting into a fight.
Yeah. It's all right. This ain't coming out for like a month. So
he's gonna be writing notes.
Yep. So we go out to the farm so she can take care of the horses. Well, I need to go out to there's a athletic store that's out there that has the floor mats for the gym, right? So I need to go out there because they're the only ones in the city that have it in stock. And she goes, all right, well, just come with me on Saturday out to the farm while I do chores, and then you can take the truck out there and get it. So okay. So I plan to go out there, get the floor mats. And she goes, it's just down the street from the farm. So I'm like, okay. Drive out to the farm, drop her off, put it in my GPS. You know what her definition of just down the street is?
40 minutes away.
20 miles of city driving.
Goodness.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So an hour and a half later, I show back up at the farm. Of course, they had everything, so I'm happy about that. But I'm like, hey, me and you our definitions are very different.
Oh, man. Goes back to the old math questions in elementary school. If Timmy leaves the bus stop at this time, what time will it take for him to get home? Yeah, so
depends. Whose directions is he following?
Yeah, no.
Who's driving? That's my question.
Yeah, that is also another factor.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you what, last time we were coming home from another state, and I was tired. I was like, "Hey, you got to drive." And I was pleasantly surprised when I woke up to see where we were. I was like, hey, you're ahead of schedule. Of course, I was like 45 minutes ahead. We're now 15. But she was still further along than I thought she was going to be when I woke up.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy.
Yeah, it doesn't help, and it doesn't help nowadays. They got these apps like for your insurances that hey, if you have it on your phone, it'll track whether you're distracted driving and stuff like that, so you can get so much percentage off. And
Yeah, don't put those apps on your phone, bro.
well, apparently I had to, but I can change it to where I'm a passenger, especially with us being first responders. I can say, hey, I was not driving at this time, so this.
I did not run those 7 stoplights.
Exactly.
This guy's the worst driver ever.
Dude. Actually, the other day, running a call and going through, and I went back to that app, and the whole route was just red blip, red blip, red blip, because it was like all the stop signs and all the stop lights that were ran. I'm like. Yeah, I was a passenger on this one because like we do rotations where every tour for us we run a Berkeley, and we call our 3 days of working our tour. So we switch every tour driving. So yeah, like I'm on 4-day now. So this next tour coming up, I will be driving. So I was riding backwards this tour, but yeah, go looking at my app, man, I freaking blips everywhere because I'm running through all these red lights and stuff. Like, wasn't me, man. Wasn't me.
Yeah, I never downloaded that.
But it turns into a competition. Like, so that's where I was going with this. Is it turns into a competition because I can see who's on my plan. So of course my wife is on my plan, and I was like, I'm saving more money than she is. Suck it. Yeah, I may drive erratic, but I am saving more money.
It's got to lead to some awesome conversations.
Oh, she just kind of turns it into a competition too. So it's a healthy competition. So that's nice.
Right.
Is it you're saving more money or they're just overcharging you to start?
Probably both.
No, they're overcharging you.
Yeah, I mean, well, you buy into it a little bit because you're like, you know what? They give you that here's the price. We're going to scratch through that. Here's your new price. So you're saving money.
It's kind of like when you go to buy a new car.
Oh.
Like, I've got a sticker at 40, but we're giving it to you for 35, and they bought it for 20.
Yeah.
So are you really getting a good deal?
Oh yeah. Like when I got my truck, I traded in my old car, and the guy literally told me what he was going to do with it. He was going to take it in, trade in. And he's like, I'm just going to buy it for my everyday driver. I was like, all right, cool. Just make sure I have a good, decent trade in on it. And he covered my loan. So I was like, I don't even give a shit at this point. Just you covered my loan. We're done. But yeah, that's it. They didn't realize how much of a process that was.
So there's the place I bought multiple vehicles. They know how to sell you the extra warranties. So I always say no. It's like, oh no, hang on, because of your job and where you work, it's not. I'm just gonna throw numbers out there. It's not $1,000. It's $200. And I'm like, and you're screwing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, for $200.
Yeah.
Okay, it's worth it now for me to cover the electronics in the vehicle for $200.
Oh
extra.
yeah. Why?
I'll write you a check for that.
Why not? Yeah, why not? I mean, honestly, it's that peace of mind kind of situation. And honestly, it's like, say if you're paying an extra $200 factored into your loan,
and it's pennies.
Yeah,
over
that's exactly it. So it's like, okay, so like for me, they did that kind of situation on my maintenance plan because I've got 5 years of oil changes for free.
Yeah.
And well, I say free, but I paid, but they gave me a deal kind of situation. But I got five years of what got factored into my loan. So yeah, I mean, I was like, hey, do I have to hit a certain amount of miles, or can I just come in whenever I want? They're like, you got 5 years, man. Come in however often you want. Like, hell yeah, you'll see me every other month. I'm getting my money's worth.
Kind of like the oil changes for the motorcycle. When I bought that deal, they're like, oh, it's like $4,000. I'm like, no. And like,
Hard pass.
Yeah.
So it comes with 2 free tires, and then it had like you could winterize your bike. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. So those become oil changes. So it ends up being like 8 or 9 oil changes, 2 free tires, and then I think I paid $800 for it. Like, yeah, that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just from the tire
I was going to
standpoint
say,
alone.
Yeah.
the tires
Yeah.
alone are
And
over
again,
$800.
it was it's that veteran first responder deal they give people.
Mm-hmm.
And not like I was looking for it, but I'm not going to say no either.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid.
No.
All the time.
I would like to save money when I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for what I'm paying for the bike. And of course, we paid the bike off really fast.
Yeah.
So it didn't, we didn't really pay all that interest on it.
Yeah.
But
No, and that's
I guess the electronics, like the stereo in our truck, is like $7 or $8 grand to replace it.
oh yeah.
And I mean, that's labor and all that. Because the guy was telling me, I'm like, whoa. I just upgraded then at that point. If I got to pay that.
I
yeah.
will go to Best Buy, spend $100 on a CD player.
The aftermarket shit.
Yeah. I'll buy the little $15
Yeah.
dash kit, and yeah, I'm good to go, bro.
I'm gonna go old school where I can take the face off like we could back in the
Oh,
day.
Oh, yeah.
So no, it is. So people don't come in and steal it.
They still sell those because that's what I had in the YJ. I could take the face off of the
Yeah.
CD player.
Dude,
Those
honestly,
were awesome back
Yeah.
then.
yeah. But man, for me, I was like, what a fucking hassle. If someone's really gonna, I mean, it was like it's a mass production situation. So yeah, he could still steal my stereo. The only thing I've got left over is something that I got to buy the whole fucking thing again. But he
Yeah.
can find a faceplate anywhere. So
Yeah, that's
that's the downside to it. So I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it. If someone is willing to go that hard about getting my stereo, just have it. It's yours. You broke my window.
Well,
dug it all
And the door
out.
was unlocked. It happened to me. I had a 95 Bonneville at the time.
the Bonneville.
And honestly, it was a great car. And they broke my window, the passenger window, and stole the stereo. And the damn door was unlocked. I'm like, you mother.
Well, that's like
I was so angry about the window. I'm like, I don't care about the
Dude.
$20 stereo.
so there
They
was
stole my CDs, though.
Oh,
That's when I got mad about that, too. Because I like the original, the Tupac.
oh, dude.
The 2-disc set.
Yeah.
his hits. I was so angry. A buddy gave it to me, and I was so angry.
well, there's a guy that we both know that was on a Jeep trip, had his Jeep parked in the hotel parking lot with all of his gear and stuff in there, and they cut his back window and stole a bag. It basically had like a camp stove or something like that in there. There's a zipper.
Bro, just use the zipper, man.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to call now? Like, yeah, do I have to replace what you stole?
Yeah, but now I have to spend
now
a
I gotta
lot of money to replace those
like-
windows.
Like, well, and that's that's things like that. Like, it's not even like if you steal shit at that point. It's just the common decency of, yeah, granted, you're a thief, so your
there's no common decency
your decency is like fucking sewer. But I'm just saying, like, say an example that I had is I dated this girl years ago, and she had a convertible Mustang. Well, somebody flicked a cigarette, and it landed on her soft top and fucking burnt through the soft top. I'm like, what? Why are we that inconsiderate on other people's shit? Like, I know you don't care. I mean, I know, and that's
Yeah.
You ever been hit with a cigarette on your motorcycle?
A cigarette? No. Been hit with a lot of other crap.
huh?
I got hit with one.
Oh,
I
dude.
mean, it hit me in the chest and bounced to the ground. But I was like, hey.
Oh, dude.
No, I've been run off the road multiple times.
Yeah, and that's anyone that's got a bike. You know, hey, you guys got big balls with all the fucking distractions going on with all the phones and shit like that. Dude, multiple times that I've looked at motorcycles, it's actually hilarious. So
You always run a call.
yes, dude.
Yeah.
So yesterday I'm working, right? And I'm scrolling through Facebook, and an ad comes up for a motorcycle, and I'm like, that looks that looks cool. We'll check it out, see what pricing is, Literally just scrolling through this website, and the pumper up at headquarters runs a motorcycle accident. I'm like, all right, I'm going ahead and just getting off of this now because I already know
Was
where
it
this
on
is
the
going.
same highway they're on where they take a ride out of it?
No, it was further on down south.
Okay.
But
I saw a post the other day of somebody had mowed up there on the highway.
Oh yeah,
and
dude,
it covered the road. Like there's a picture, it covered.
They do not care.
Somebody said they called Platte County, and out they came.
Oh, good on them.
Yeah.
See, and that's where I live. That's a huge talking point because we have this like town page, but we call it the bitch and moan page because everyone fucking complains about shit. But that's our biggest thing. I totally see, like, from a motorcyclist's point of view of, especially, running calls like that. It's dangerous. Gravel, pay attention to, where you're throwing your grass and stuff like that when you're cutting it. Because our biggest bitch in our town is, oh, hey, quit throwing your grass out in the street. And I was like, one, I agree with you, but I do it because I'm in a neighborhood of 20 miles an hour. If you lose control at 20 miles an hour, I think you should rethink your motorcycle situation.
For me, it's not even a motorcycle issue. It's it looks like shit. If you throw your grass in the street, one, you're a D-bag because now the whole street looks like garbage, and it's just sheer laziness.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to blow the sidewalk in your driveway, right?
Yeah.
So blow it back. You blow it right where? Right back into the grass.
Yeah, I blew it on the street.
He's that guy. I'm glad he doesn't live in my neighborhood.
But see, dude,
I'd be right there with my blower, right back onto the driveway.
But then it just goes. Then it's just a never-ending circle.
It's all right. I got time.
So I just blow it out in the street and let the wind take care of it.
I'm petty, man.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'll blow mine. I'll blow it in the grass, and then what's in the street, it goes down. We have a drain right there,
Yeah.
and it goes out to our pond. And the grass carp eat the grass.
Makes sense. I do not have that.
Environmentalist.
Nice.
Wow. See what I said? Taking the long way around. Yeah.
Yeah.
He set you up for that one.
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah. Right.
It just makes me better than you. That's all I'm saying.
Apparently you are. It's just, and I even have like one of those big ass backpack blowers. I got a backpack blower that like wind speed is over 300 miles an hour, and I'm just, and it's across the street in the next guy's yard.
That's fine. As long as it's in the yard, I don't care.
But yeah, for me, I don't
I'm going to
have.
follow him on his days off now when he's mowing and just throw a fit. I'm going to knock on people's doors. Hey, this guy's mowing your yard? No. Here's 4 options that are better.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow.
Trying to put food on the table for my kid, but you know what? Whatever.
Hey, man, if you do things the right way the first time,
Dude,
I can teach you a hard lesson the hard way.
Well, here's the thing. I can't control if I blow it back out into the grass and the wind knocks it out of there, what am I going to do?
You think the wind's going to knock out that much grass?
Hey man, there's actually a couple.
We don't live in Hurricane Alley.
No,
dude.
I'm not saying that we do, but I do have 2 yards east of me that I don't know. It's weird where their house is the windiest area I have.
Oh yeah,
been in, and it's weird. But yes, every single time I'm literally fight. Like I even.
Oh, sometimes you can't win that.
Oh
battle,
yeah,
man.
dude.
I won't ever argue that.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like because I used to go like start at the driveway and then just do like a split to the whole Moses thing, just split the grass and then try and get on both sides of into the grass, and then after I did that. Huge gust of wind and just covers it all. I was like, you know what? I'm going to hit from this side and work my way back. That's the route we're going.
Sometimes it's a losing battle.
Oh, it is a losing battle. And I try. Like when it's.
You know what I do when I can't blow it because of the wind? I go get my heavy duty vacuum and I suck it up and throw it in a trash bag.
No, you don't.
No way. No way.
You're right. I make my son do it.
Oh,
he don't even mow his own grass, dude. His wife mows the grass.
No, my son does it.
Oh, now your son does it?
Man.
He wants extra money because he's 19 and trying to live on his own. And I don't mind giving him the money. I don't care about that. But he gets to learn a valuable skill. He's like, mowing the yard sucks. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Welcome to being an adult.
Yeah.
Why do you think I paid someone for the last 3 years to do it? Because I don't want to do it. And they're done in like 15 minutes where it takes me about 35.
Yeah, I got to mow mine was kind of trying to wait to see if it was going to rain because I know it's going
right now.
I know it's going to jump after that, especially because the weather's going to cool off. So
yeah, I'm ready for mowing season to be done. I hit that point where spring, you got good lines going, grass is green, looks good, and then you get into like July and shit's dead as fuck, and you're fucking like you're going through and like, dude, I don't even think I'm cutting grass anymore. My tires are literally breaking the grass. Mm-hmm. The blades are not even getting cut; they're just breaking because
we
they're
got
so
that
fragile.
In June this year. We had it early.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It's been hot all summer. Like hot.
Yeah.
I think I put maybe 100 miles on my motorcycle this summer. It's been you wake up and it's already 90 degrees. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly it. So, during the season, it's just like when I hit those months or those weeks, I'm just like, yep, I'm done. I'm done for the season. I always hit that tipping point where I'm just like, I'm just done for the season. Let's just finish this up on a strong note,
You're so busy there for so long early on. And then
and that's it,
It burns you out so fast.
Well, and I'm also that I'm not that, I'm not a big company. I've got like 20 yards, and basically it's not even 20 yards that I mow because my business partner is my father-in-law, who he's got a full-time job, so he takes half, I take half, and then we just basically we have our own clients that we stick to. So 10 yards is not a lot to mow in a day. That's for me, it's 4 hours worth, but it's one of those things. It's just the consistency, and for those bigger companies, they're like, hey, I gotta mow this yard so many times this year, so whether it's a swamp in their yard or if it's dry as fuck, we're rolling on it. And I'm not that kind of person. If it's
that wet, you end up tearing up the yard,
and that's exactly
more damage. Now you got to pay for it.
Well, and that's exactly it. I tell all my clients, like, listen, if it's too hot, I'm not getting on your yard. If it's too wet, I'm not getting on your yard. Honestly, I'm going to work just enough where I can seem lazy, but I'm out there busting my ass every week, but I'm not one of those guys. Like a good example, the month of August, I literally mowed my clients twice because it was just so hot. It was constantly 90.
Well,
we had no moisture. So like, what am I cutting? I'm cutting weeds
water
at
in their
this.
yard and paying that
And that's
$600 water bill.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So, and I've told them, I'm like, listen, I'm going to get to it when I can, but I'm not going to get on it just to get on it. It saves you money and it saves me time. So I can, the less I can get on it, the faster I can go home. That's how I look at it. And honestly, that's why I've kind of kept these clients as long as I have, is just because the honesty, being fair is the biggest thing. I work with some gentlemen that own companies, and they're the type, hey, are you mowing today? Oh yeah. Dude, it is pouring outside. He's like, oh yeah, I got 9 to do today. I was like, I didn't know that they made hovercrafts for mowers, because there's no way you're going to be able to get on there. But nope, they do it.
See, and it depends on the yard too. I mean, if there's no hill in it,
it's
typically okay.
It just depends on, of course, it depends on
how much water.
How long has it been raining?
Yeah.
How
many days has it been raining?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So I try and be as fair as possible. I'm not doing it to get rich. Clearly, I mean, I'm doing it. Basically, the amount I make is covering daycare. So
daycare is expensive.
Daycare is expensive,
especially for a baby.
Yeah, daycare is really expensive. So, and that's basically my incentive, is to keep this going. Even though I've talked multiple times, like, I'm so done with this bullshit. Coming home and just be irritated, and I'm like, but it takes care of daycare. There we go.
I'd say the same thing about softball every year.
That's a whole different animal.
Oh yeah, dude.
He just likes to be in charge.
Well, here's the thing though. With softball, it's complete. You're dealing with 14 different personalities.
Yes.
14 people that it's cat wrangling. That's basically. Yeah.
And you would think they would be, because they're all adult men.
That's an oxymoron, by the way.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we have a game.
And
This
most
day.
of you work at the same place. And granted, they're different days,
Yep.
but you know where they work. And they're like, okay, I know you're available this day.
Yeah.
Like, so yes, when you get
Yeah.
these people that sign up like, oh yeah, I could do that. I could be there every week. I could be there every week.
Yeah.
See them once in
Yeah.
a season.
Oh, dude, that's so frustrating.
Yeah. Hey, my hat's off to you on that one because I've done it one season and it was a nightmare.
Oh, you're doing it next year. You're volunteered. You've been voluntold.
Voluntold.
I'm delegating. I'm passing off the reins.
Yeah.
You might do a better job.
Can't do any worse.
Oh, dude, when I ran mine, I had guys come up, and you got to do a strategy. It's not just like, hey, who's quick and who can hit up at the top, and then you're shit at the bottom.
Yeah.
There's a strategy to it. So, say I would put myself at leadoff because I'm fairly, at the time I was a lot quicker than I am now, and I could get on base. My whole goal was hit at the third base, and if he bobbles it for a second, I know I'm safe. That's it. That was my plan. And I had people come up and like, hey, why you keep putting yourself first? Like, I'm the one that gets on base all the time. Like, I'm not trying to do it because I hate leadoff. Leadoff is honestly the worst spot for me. I hate it. But I'm the only one that's getting on base. So I have to be leadoff. But I have consistent hitters that I got to put lower because I got to fill those gaps for those guys that are not very strong at hitting. Because, hey, if they do happen to get on base, can I move those runners over? Well, if I have another shittier hitter up, I don't want to.
You got 2 outs in a row.
Yeah, you're looking at easy double plays or fly balls. Yeah, it's just that's where it just gets frustrating when people don't see the strategy to it.
Oh yeah, and whenever you got a whole team full of warning track power and.
Oh, dude, I'm not even warning track power. I'm just over the infield power.
Yep. Bloopers all day long.
Yeah, hey, if it drops behind him, I'm golden. That's good.
Station to station.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dude, that's the teams that have given us the most trouble this year. That's how they've beat us.
Oh, dude.
And beat us badly.
Well, and also the biggest frustration about some of that is there's a lot of teams that shouldn't be in the league that we're in. We're literally, we're playing
Tournament teams. There's at
tournament
least
teams,
2 of them.
and in a very, 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 it shouldn't be a very competitive league that we're in, but we got guys that literally play 6 days a week, maybe 7 days a week, and their weekends are tournaments, and it's just like, what are you doing here? Go somewhere else because honestly, you're
practice.
I get that,
Good
but
teams got to practice, man.
yeah, but why wouldn't you practice against good teams?
No, it's not a confidence booster.
Well,
It's kind of like when your big dog college football teams schedule somebody like Winthrop, or Appalachian State.
Dude, every major college team does that. And they do it in basketball, too.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I disagree with it.
Oh, I do, too. You know what was my greatest joy in high school?
The preseason I get because in basketball, because they pay those little schools and it gets some national exposure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like because it's not even it's like fun for 5 minutes. You're like, oh, it's gonna be it's over.
Dude, whenever I was in high school, there was an actual high school tournament, and they paid our school to send our JV team, the home team for the tournament, because they wanted to win in the first game of their own tournament. And the rest of the teams in the tournament were going to destroy them. There's no doubt about it. So they said, hey, send your JV team down here. Like, okay. So JV team went down. We beat them by 20 points.
damn.
Yeah. And then couldn't even finish the rest of the tournament because we had our own tournament. So, yeah.
You went
We
there.
went down there, took their money, and went home. Yeah. It was awesome.
Who was it that it was a couple years ago? Appalachian State did that. Who they beat?
Oh shoot, I can't even remember.
They beat it was Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And they whipped them.
Dude,
Took their money, walked in there and beat them.
I don't know how, if you're a big program like that, how it happens. I get it. It's any given, like they say, any given Sunday for football, but
that's why you play the game.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, and that's also being that competitive person. I mean, granted, if you're in college sports, you're a competitive person. I mean,
you would think that, but having played college basketball and in high school played with a lot of guys who went on to play college basketball, and some of them at D1 schools, some of them weren't really competitive. There was a dude on my team in high school that was recruited heavily by several schools, and he was a really good basketball player. Did not go to – he turned down every offer. And the coaches would ask his dad, hey, he's like, no, I made him play in high school. I'm not making him play in college. That's his choice.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When you got talent, if you got talent
Yeah.
like that, it's just crazy how you just kind of piss that away. No, of course that's everyone's.
But I get it. I mean,
yeah,
if you don't want to be there, you don't want to be there. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, no,
You're taking a spot from somebody else.
exactly. Someone that actually wants to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, anymore you look at the whole entitlement culture that we have going on, and kids will, well, I'm a stud high school player or whatever, I deserve to be here, and then they don't put the work in because they don't realize that college is not like high school.
No, I didn't go to college, but of course, being in the competitive, how competitive my wrestling room was in high school, I knew, and I was mediocre at best, man. I started in 7th grade, so I was just, I
way behind the curve.
Way
with all
behind,
those guys.
yeah, way behind the curve. So, shoot, my first year, I think I won maybe one match. Second year, I maybe won like 5. Go in there, I get my ass kicked every. High school was a little different because since I was in such a competitive room, because our middle school would go to our high school and just practice with them all the time. Mm-hmm. So I got to practice with JV guys all the time. And yeah, I got my ass kicked for a little bit, and then it starts to change, And so, and then I'd go in to, my freshman year, wrestling JV and beating up on some of the JV kids. And then, of course, wrestling most of the varsity guys, get my ass kicked, just happens. But that's what made me better was getting my ass kicked every single day by those varsity kids. And by my senior year, I was actually, I'm not going to say I was great. I was actually for me, my highlight was being district ranked. That was cool for me. Because again, I wasn't great. But I won matches, and with my class, as far as the division of where my school was at, I think I was like going into districts, they ranked me 3rd or something like that. And, but that was my highlight for my wrestling career. But going in my senior year, I had a really fucked up senior year. Started it off, I was doing really well, beating some really good kids in the room because, I put in the time, and I was getting better every single day. And again, as those kids that have always been good, I was beating them in practice, which didn't happen very often, and then I ended up having some bad luck. I had my appendix removed, had to wait a month to get back in the room, and then I ended up breaking my collarbone at the end of the season. So my senior year was just a mess. But yeah, and that's the thing. So, and that's what, as long as you put in the time and you're committed to it and always trying to improve yourself, I didn't enjoy going into JV practices, even if I was on JV at the time, because there's a couple guys that would, put a good match, but going into varsity, getting my ass kicked, did I like getting my ass kicked? Hell no, but it did make me better. And also, the discipline in the sport just made me a better person, I feel like. So, because there's always that person out there, you can act like a badass all you want, but there's always that person out there that can either beat you or beat your ass. So, be humble, do what you can, protect yourself kind of situation. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you don't grow if you don't stretch yourself out. If you stay in your same little comfort zone, we've talked about that a million times. I think I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but it's true. What's the saying? Iron sharpens iron. So Yeah.
And going back to softball, why the hell would you go and beat up on people that just want to have fun on a Sunday? You know, just go and do better against better teams. We're here. We're literally here to just have fun. And
you're playing in the wrong league. You got to play in the quote unquote beer leagues.
Well,
I thought technically so here's the deal. We play in a D league. So the E league is the lowest rec softball league. So that's like no home runs and all of that stuff. And that's just straight up, it shouldn't be competitive at all. Our league should be semi-competitive, but not really. Mm-hmm. Now the C league, that's your competitive teams. That's one step below a tournament team. What we have in our league is at least two of the teams are full-on tournament teams that come in and, and we hang with them for the most part.
No, the next year you'll beat them. You get better.
Yeah. No, that's not how it's working. We're not getting better. We're all getting older.
You got to practice.
That's very true.
The problem is they, those teams every year they come in with a couple, just out of college, 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
And we come in and we've replaced our 40-year-old with another 40-year-old.
Who just
Joey was the young guy on the team for the longest time.
I was, yeah.
So
I'm definitely too old to do that anymore.
Oh, dude, I tell you what, after especially the first game of the season, Monday morning, man, freaking rolling out of bed. It's literally rolling out of bed because my muscles cannot move at this point. I'm just like, oh God, let's try. I gotta move. Yep. It hurts so bad. Oh man, yeah, it sucks. It's from working out every single day in high school and getting your ass kicked in practice. You're sore, but you're not like body crippling sore.
Mm-hmm. It changes the older you get.
Oh my gosh, dude! I found that out like a year out of high school because I ended up getting into softball and I was like, there's good workout stuff that I can do and man, the day after my first time playing softball, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what? I'm 19 years old and I'm like super sore. I'm like, God damn, where'd this come from? Oh man, yeah. So, and that's what happens when you're not used to that physical activity every single time or every single day. It's just your body's just not used to it.
That's why I'm getting into golf.
That's pretty fun. I'm
not walking 18 holes though. I get a cart.
Dude, I'm a cart guy.
Holds my cooler of water, like Gatorade.
Yeah. So I like golf. I'm not good at it. But again, I'm competitive, so I don't like to suck at it. So I don't like that I'm bad at it.
I wish there was video of it, but I got 3 witnesses. I chipped in from about 45 feet. Couldn't believe it.
Nice.
I was like,
is it on Instagram?
And
no,
because if it's not, it didn't happen.
And we were all staring like, really? I was like, dude, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
This is the second hole. It's like, that's it. I'm done. That's a highlight.
And that's how golf gets you. You have those very lucky shots. You're like, yeah, I can just keep going. Yeah. I keep doing this. Then like, it was the second hole. The whole back 9 was just fucking triple bogeys, quadruple bogeys, and like.
See, I don't really keep score. How I keep track is how many balls did I lose.
That's equivalent. That's beer league golf. That's how I do it too. It's like if I can because if I hit a ball out in the brush, I'm taking my time and I'm finding my golf ball because I'm not, and I'm hoping that I can come back.
An hour right there.
Yeah.
It is.
For me, like I kind of know some of the spots and some of the local courses where like it's like they pile up, and so I'll come out with like 5 or 6 of them in my pockets.
Well, see, I take that into account. If I lose 2, but I found 4, I'm +2. I'm having a good day.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I reverse score that golf.
Basically, yeah. It's like for the drink holders in the golf cart. That's where I put the ones I found. Like, hey, I'm not touching my bag anymore. Like, golf balls are coming out of what I found.
Yep.
So.
Waterlogged or not, that's what I'm using.
Yeah, like especially if it's kind of like casino, you go in like, hey, I got this much money. I am not spending any more than this. If I get winnings, I'll just go off of that. Of course, doesn't always work out, you know. Shoot,
It depends on how much I win.
yeah. Well, I remember my 21st birthday, went to a casino. I had $21. Of course, that's not a lot, you know, because I was working part-time at a retail store. And so I'm like, just going to do $20 just to say I did it, you know. I'm not a gambling kind of person. Go in, 5 minutes. I was out of there 5 minutes. Fucking, I
One
sat,
hand of blackjack.
Oh, dude. Well, I was like, I know blackjack, but I don't know the whole like splitting rules.
Oh,
I just went to the slots.
It's a whole different ball game at the casino playing blackjack.
Oh, dude, I know. That's why I was like, I'm really intimidated on all those table games.
Yeah,
like,
that's, I'll pass.
That's why I go to the slots, man. So I was like, I'll just do where's the penny slots at, dude? My first time. They're like, oh, hey, how much you gonna put in? So like, I put in like, well, give me the best odds. What's gonna give me the best odds? They're like, ends up being like $1 worth of pennies. I'm like, holy shit! Like this is gonna go by so fast. Yeah, 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes. I won. I won maybe $5, and then with that mentality, I'm gonna use the $5 that I just earned or just won. Nope, still gone in 5 minutes. I was out, left.
So last time we were at a casino. We were up in Iowa, and we didn't play any games. My brother, my dad, and I all placed a $20 bet. It was for Kansas to win the title in basketball, and they had a shot, and then COVID happened.
Oh,
I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Damn it, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'd never placed a bet like that. So we were there. They had it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Just $20.
Yeah.
Not gonna kill me. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
They probably would have won that year, too.
I think they would have. Or I at least had a shot.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, dude, you never know. I mean,
I would have won $100. I'd have made $80. So
okay,
okay.
That's $80 more than you had.
But
It's
would
not
I
even
really
enough
make?
gas to go up there and get your winnings and then come back. You just spent $120.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not really. We were gonna break even. Like we were gonna carpool.
Yeah.
So we all split. Everybody splits the gas. I mean, it's
my
only
goodness.
3 hours up there, so it's not bad.
Still, that's...
Of course, if it's your dad and your brother, you're probably gonna hang out for the night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna enjoy the time. I mean,
We were gonna spend the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time before that, we were at a Christmas party, so we wife and I said, all right, we should get $100. Whatever you do with it, whatever. She lost $100 gambling. I drank $100. It was a Christmas party for the station, and they started playing craps. And one of the guys actually owed me $20. So he's like, "Hey man, here." And I walked away from the craps table with $250. No idea how.
nice.
My wife's like, "Hey, we're going to the room." I'm like, "No, I'm winning." I was drunk. No idea. I threw the dice off the table.
Dude, and that's the thing. So like,
I don't remember how I won.
you look at all these movies that like they're like, oh yeah, we got craps. Like, I don't get it. Like you throw the dice, it's got to hit the side, and then like whatever. But like I don't get it because like and some of the movies like, oh hey, 7's the winner or 8's the. How do you win? Like I haven't really like sat down and like watched a YouTube video and
like,
actually
what you
how to.
think will come up. Like I'm gonna do 10 here on the 5. Here's some 7, and here's like the 50-50 if it's not Snake Eyes or something. It was something like that. Like just one of the guys that I used to work with, he was a very regular at the casino.
Seasoned.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was like, just bet how I bet. Gotcha. Did whatever he did, I did.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's just
It was
like
fun. I'll be honest. It was a lot of fun. But it's not like I was playing for big money, and I wasn't going to go to the ATM
Yeah.
and get more money.
oh
And
yeah.
You're not quitting your job to do that as...
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
no.
Like back when the Texas Hold'em craze...
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, I still like playing Texas Hold'em.
I like playing.
too.
I like playing Texas Hold'em. It's dude. I remember when my dad was a coach for my little brother's baseball team, and we would go to like baseball state for his team, and so we would go to Branson and we go to other places and for state, and we had all this off time in the hotel, and one of the other coaches was like, "Hey, you ever play poker?" And I was like, "No, I don't know how to do it." All right, we'll teach you Texas Hold'em. Learned it, dude. That whole weekend, man. I was hooked. I was like, "Hey, we got downtime. You want to play some Texas Hold'em? He's like, dude, we don't have time. We have like an hour before we got to go play. I'm like, who cares? Let's get this in. Like, like, dude, it's fun.
That was one of the plans for getting a roundish or octagon table down here was poker night sometimes.
Yeah.
The podcast studio can do double duty.
Yeah.
Triple duty now that the gym is going to be over there and this is now going to be my game room too.
There you go. There you go.
You got to put some ventilation in here, though.
Yeah.
Nah, we can leave the door open. It'd be fine. We'll set a fan up too.
For poker night, I'm talking about for this. I mean, it's hot.
You're hot?
I'm hot.
See, I'm not hot at all.
I'm not hot at all.
Skinny pieces of shit.
Well, on that note, Joey, thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
We appreciate you sharing about streaming with us.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah. I'm not
enlightening.
Yeah. Not a big streamer, but it's fun.
Oh,
Fun to
dude,
make
it's,
content.
You know, something that we haven't really talked about, and everybody's got their, little thing that they do on the side. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's fun.
Definitely a good way to relax and
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
forget about the day before.
I'll put it in the link of the description and everything, but what's your streaming handle?
So on Facebook, it's Evanger. And on YouTube, same thing. With Instagram, it's weird, man, because apparently Instagram is case sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all lowercase, but it's Evanger Gaming or gaming, because somehow Evanger just was taken.
Of course.
Dude, it's so dumb. It is the dumbest because it's not like I didn't do the research before because it used to be Exiled Hitman.
Mm-hmm.
A gaming name I literally had like since SOCOM 2, PlayStation 2 days. I like that was my handle for the longest time, and then I finally changed it. But before I did the research, looking on Facebook, looking on YouTube, looking on Twitch. Nobody had it. I'm like, all right, cool, this is fair game. And then I go and change all my stuff on all these social media platforms. I could do it to Facebook. I could do it to YouTube. Twitch, I had to change it to like Evanger 90. I'm like, where the hell is this guy at?
Yeah,
like
that took up the other 89.
Yeah, like so because I even looked up. I'm like Evanger. I'm like, I can't find it anywhere. Like, where's this dude at? So because I guess every 90 days you can change your name. Mm-hmm. And so I think he was in that 90-day period, so it was still technically taken.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't. Yeah, it was dumb. But yes, on Facebook it's Evanger, YouTube is Evanger, and Instagram is Evanger Gaming. So
cool. All right. Well, like we end every podcast, if you are struggling, reach out. There are resources out there, and if you know somebody that's having a hard time, reach out. Don't be afraid to talk to them. Let them know that you care. Let them know there are resources out there. So thanks for stopping by.